episode of the Korea podcast. I'm your host Jack, located here in Ulsan, South Korea, the very southern tip of the South Korean peninsula. Today is the 5th of July, and man, I've got a lot of interesting things to cover today. The Korea podcast is a podcast that talks about anything and everything related to working and living in South Korea. In the past, we've covered a lot of stuff on Hagwon, running Hagwons, and starting your own language school. The podcast is sponsored by, right here, by Shane English Korea. If you are in the market looking to establish yourself and build your own language school in South Korea, and you'd like to take the easy route without having to work on developing your own curriculum, then give me a shout. Call me up. You can drop me a message either before or after. Right now, drop a message in the comment section below or just in the chat and let me know that you're interested, and we'll set you up with your very own franchise here in South Korea. Shane English has been around in South Korea for about 6 years now, nearly 5.5 or so, and we've been doing pretty well despite everything that's been going on. Business is shutting down left and right, but Shane English is making it through the mess, the haze that we're going through, the COVID haze. In today's news, what are we going to talk about today? Oh yeah, it's a rainy day. That's not part of the news, but it is happening. It's been a rainy week, entire week, kind of, or weekend rather. I hope everybody had a good one. Sunday was nice. Saturday was pouring rain. We're making plans with some friends to go spend some time at the beach, but that didn't happen, so that's too bad. But I did manage to get out on Sunday and use my new paddle board to check it out on the waves. The waters were way too choppy to stand up upon and on the board, and I think I got a little seasick in the end. Which, oh well, what are you gonna do, yeah? But it was still a lot of fun, and I'm hoping for some calmer waters. Actually, I'm looking forward to August, man, because that's when we'll get out to vacation time and some calm waters there. What's been cooking? I've been looking around for news on the internet, and I checked out some stuff in Ulsan online, and geez Louise, like, you go check it out. I was looking for news bits on Ulsan. Oh yeah, okay. You type in Ulsan news and literally this is the first page you get on Google. I have no idea other websites, but basically Ulsan Online, everything you need to know. It's the best source of information in English of what's going on in Ulsan, what's been happening in Ulsan. It's the first thing that pops up. NDTV, no idea what that is. This is Ulsan Online. You've got everything related to living and working in Ulsan. If you're new coming to Ulsan, there's a lot of information. It's a website that's run by local people. The chief editor, Jason Teal, has been in Ulsan for close to 16 years, I believe, or so. And this is a peer-driven phenomenon, Ulsan Online. Everything else is just schmutz. It's garbage. Best soccer. The news on most of these websites is like from, I don't know, a year ago. Okay, this is, I guess, recent because it's soccer. Everything else, Ulsan University. Yeah! See? I'm speaking the truth, yo. Yeah. Very sad on the news front here in Ulsan, man. So yeah, that's the first thing you get. Anywho, so the topic at hand, peeps. The topic at hand that we've got is, it started actually, let me just drop you this quick little, what is it? Bit of information here. Let's see if I can make this larger. So apparently, what the law in Korea says that if a person owns a piece of land and you decide to squat on it, so to speak, not pharmaceutically, but you decide to plant something on any piece of land, the property owners are not entitled, they're not in a position to just simply boot you out. They would have to go through a whole charade of legal battles in order to get illegal farmers off their land. There's a post on the Expat gardening in ROK group. This is definitely good to know. We live in Seoul, but on farmland down in Jeollanam-do. We don't visit there often, but on one occasion that we did, we noticed the neighbor had started growing her peanuts on some of our land. When we confronted her about it, she just laughed and shut the door in our face. Anyway, we have since fenced off that section of our property, and the other parts we lease. Under the current law, there are no legal measures property owners can take to protect their property from others. Lucy just barged in on me. My man cave has been invaded. Don't close the window. Can you feel the steam in here?
But they can't see.
No, but they can hear you. Say hi.
Hi.
The peeps can hear you, man. Under the current law, there are no legal measures property owners can take to protect their property from others' use if they don't know any personal information about the farmers, said lawyer Ko Young-gi. If property owners remove or destroy what others planted on their land, even though someone else planted them without the owner's approval, those owners must pay the farmer financial compensation in the case the intruder resorts to legal action. Under criminal law, the property owner can also face punishment for theft or destruction of the intruder's property, in this case, the crops. This sounds completely ridiculous. Somebody started coining it caveman style. You know, like, this is so bizarre. Basically, you're entitled to your own property as long as somebody else doesn't come in and start planting stuff. And I guess it's not taking over property, but just the act of planting. One thing I wonder is, if they plant and you harvest, will that be also an intrusion on their intrusion? I wonder. But anyway, so the Korea Herald and the Korea Times posted an article. This is, when was this actually? I'm just curious. This is from just today. Yeah, this was posted, I guess, on the group just today. So this is an article from today. I don't see a date here on this. Civil law turns blind eye to farmers illegally growing crops on other people's property. Baby beer for me. I remember there was a question going around asking about the better the better non-alcoholic beer. I've been sipping on the Heineken 00. Heineken 00. It's decent, and you know, some people call it sacrilege, saying it's an oxymoron. Good non-alcoholic beer. Of course, it's non-alcoholic. It's flavored water. So let's not fool ourselves. It's just, I don't know. If you miss the taste, I don't particularly miss the taste. I don't miss the alcohol. I've been on or off the wagon. I have no idea. I haven't been drinking in like 5 or 6 years now. I haven't had a drop of booze, and I'm quite happy with it. I don't feel no urges, no needs, and just drinking this is, I don't know, purely for fun. I could be drinking some sparkling apple cider, I guess, or apple juice or whatever. Anywho, Gimpo, Gyeonggi Province. I've been in a waiting game for weeks since mid-June, when I first discovered someone growing sweet potatoes and green onions without my permission on my property, located a 10-minute drive from my home in Gimpo, Gyeonggi Province. Near there, fresh green bean sprouts were also growing under black plastic net. Anyway, so this is a property. It's 2,000 square meter property. Whoever planted it on something like 50 square meters of the property. The owner came and put up some posters saying, you know, get out of here or else, or I'm gonna have to take care and then, you know, take some legal action to get rid of you. And the intruder, basically answered that call by removing the plastic foil that was covering the ground over the plants, in order to allow the plants to absorb more light, and you know, that was kind of like the FU to the owner. Under the current law, there are no legal measures property owners can take to protect their property from others. Use if they don't know any personal information about the farmers, said lawyer Hagwon. If property owners remove or destroy what others planted on their land, even though someone else planted them without the owner's approval, those owners must pay the farmer financial compensation in the case the intruder resorts to legal action. So this is what was posted, quoted in the post on the Facebook group. There was a previous legal case in which the court ruled against an unspecified property owner who destroyed the crops that intruders had planted without the farmer's permission. According to experts, the rationale behind courts siding with the farmers is that, unlike trees, which take years or sometimes decades to grow, it takes only several months for agricultural crops to grow. So the damage to property owners is relatively insignificant. Albeit illegally planted, the courts concluded, crops that were planted by intruders belong to those who planted them and not the owners. So I guess if somebody came on your land, planted whatever the heck they wanted to plant, you are in no position to either take it out or harvest it even. The original owner has to harvest it, which means that, if you never catch the person or if they never harvest, then they're there forever. So you're going to have to be hawking over the crops to make sure that once they're harvested, you can then remove them, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Simply put, the current law protects the property of trespassers over the right of property owners. Kroea explained that the outdated stipulation was made some 6 or 7 decades ago, when owners abandoning their property without growing crops or vegetables was considered something akin to an act of sin, as back then farmers were being encouraged to grow crops to produce a self-sufficient national food supply. Yes, Korean laws are very outdated, and that goes, for the whole lot of them. Farmers illegally taking advantage of a similar public property law has also become a headache for local municipalities. In Gimpo City, for example, there is a narrow stream flowing across the city area, along with rice paddies in the neighborhood of the local Hanaro Mart, operated by Nonghyop Bank. The stream and the surrounding fields are state-owned land. Yet someone has grown corn, green peppers, green onions, tomatoes, and other crops around the stream. 4 signs were put up here and there on the sidewalk next to the stream, warning people that growing crops there is illegal and that farmers can be fined tens of millions of won if they don't remove their crops from the area. However, if the law says it's fine, then it's fine. I was always under the impression that in cases where there is property development and you know what? Let me just check the sound. Okay, all good. And new properties being developed and buildings are going up. And of course, on the outskirts, there's always some land that is, that is being dug up, but it's not yet to be used. In those cases, people can plant crops for the duration of the constructions, and once the constructions are completed, those crops would have to be removed. But apparently, that is not the case. I guess what happens is people just plant stuff because they can, and particularly in cases of constructions when there's no real oversight, unless there's security around, people can just plant stuff and keep it there for months and years, I guess, even. In some cases, which happens when properties don't become completed, when properties are not completed for one reason or another, company goes bankrupt, and then you've got buildings standing for years unfinished, and then there's empty land that can be used for growing stuff. So yeah, all right. Well, there you go. It's very hot in here. Pause. Slow pause. Small pause. Very hot in here. Can't hear the fan. All right, maybe I could run it. Yeah, I got this tiny little fan. Somebody left the Hagwon. Nobody reclaimed it, so it's mine now. It's been sitting in our Hagwon for a year. No kid showed up. I asked around. Kids leave all kinds of stuff. We got jackets. I keep asking all the kids, whose jacket is this? There's never anybody to claim the clothes, man. We've got like closets of jackets and other stuff. So yeah, all right. Well, that's it. That's it for this particular one. What else is here in the news? Oh yeah, thousands of South Korean workers rally in coronavirus hit Seoul. This is an interesting article, and the reason why it's interesting is because it shows how easily manipulated the public can now be under the guise of the coronavirus. So thousands of South Korean workers rally in coronavirus hit Seoul. So this is July 3rd. Yeah, thousands of South Korean workers staged a rally in downtown Seoul to demand better conditions. Video images showed on Saturday defying a government ban and shrugging off warnings that their protest could ignite a new wave of the coronavirus. As South Korea battles a strike of infections fueled by the highly infectious Delta variant, officials had denied permission for the protest, with Prime Minister Kim Bo-kyum urging leaders of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions to cancel it. Protesters, which the union said drew as many as 8,000 participants, backed demands for wage hikes and measures to prevent accidents. But plans for the gathering had provoked concern about a repeat of the events of last summer, after a massive rally traced to a church spread sparked a second wave of infections nationwide. And of course, this was on the 3rd. On the 4th, Korea's push to reopen is already backfiring. Top health officials flip-flop on COVID-19 Delta variant in matter of days. Korean plans for a more normal summer appear to be dashed by likely resurgence as Delta, the latest alarming variant of COVID-19, gains traction globally. Seoul and nearby cities were excluded from the nationwide reopening Thursday, despite health officials vouching less than a week ago that the country was ready for it. Ahead of the weekend, Prime Minister Kim Bo-kyum, alongside the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency's Commissioner Jong In-kyung, issued a special address calling on Koreans to continue to abide by safety precautions as the Delta variant tightens its grip on the capital. And of course, these jokers came out, and what do? Well, we need to jack up everything. So yeah, restrictions remain in place apparently amid COVID-19 resurgence, because that's what happened. So this is July 5th, just 2 days ago. Yeah. South Korea has walked back its plans to ease restrictions in the capital region for people who have been vaccinated against COVID-19. And so whether you are, when it comes to Corona, the COVID thingy, there are two parties, right? There's the camp of people who are very much on board with it, and then there's the camp of people who are very much not so on board with it. And despite, it doesn't really matter which camp you're in, when this stuff like this happens, if you're in a camp that believes, COVID is a real thing, then of course this will fuel your anger, and of course it will legitimize the government's response to try to backtrack on the lessening of restrictions. And if you're not, then of course this works as well, by basically legitimizing the government's response, and as a way to manipulate the public. Whatever the case is, this is what's happening. So we've got these guys, and then restrictions increase, and we're gonna be back to whatever we were. So I guess maybe these jokers are to blame, because regardless of which camp you're in, if this hadn't happened, then maybe restrictions would have been eased. But apparently now they're going back up. Booyah. In the meantime, Korean drug makers join hands to develop mRNA vaccines. Korea pharmaceutical companies are joining hands to develop mRNA vaccines against crypto coronavirus and other diseases. Hanmi Pharm
ST Farm and GC Farmer have founded a consortium with an association of 56 biopharmaceutical companies to develop and invest in new drugs. The Ministry of Health and Welfare said Tuesday. The consortium wants to develop an mRNA COVID-19 vaccine in 2 years and mass produce it. In 2 years? Are we going to be stuck in this situation for the next 2 years until these jokers come up with a new vaccine? Or is it going to be like vaccine Gamma by that time? Delta's going to pass and a bunch of other ones are going to come in. By 2023, it plans to produce more than 1 billion doses for export. And by 2025, it hopes to develop vaccines and drugs for other diseases as well. The interesting thing about Korean pharmaceutical companies is that they have, from what I've gathered, what I've been told, that they have no actual innovation of their own. Basically, the biggest pharmaceutical company in Korea runs on the development or the usage of expired what do you call them? Copyrights. So anytime there is a vaccine which on which the copyright expires, the largest Korean pharmaceutical drug maker basically gets a hold of that particular vaccine or drug and reproduces it. So there is no innovation, so to speak, in Korea. It's just reproduction of things that have been made in the past and on which patents have expired. Patents. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, the three top group makers expect to invest more than 700 billion in the project. US dollar, that's the conversion, so do the math. Great, fantastic news. South Korea excluded from Italy's quarantine-free travel scheme. So if you're planning to travel to Italy, you may not be able to because Korea was not included. And apparently it seems like if you're Korean, you travel to Italy, you're going to have to undergo the 10-day quarantine in Italy. Sorry. Samsung likely to unveil 3 foldable phones on August 11th. 3, not even 1, just 3. It's going to be like, you know, super duper, and super duper uber duper. 3 versions of the same phone, most likely with different what you may call it, specs, I guess, specification, just like they did with everything else. The 20, what was it, Galaxy S20? Yeah, ultra, super duper ultra, and whatever. Bigger cameras on one, cheaper cameras on one, smaller price, bigger price. Samsung Electronics will unveil a lineup of new mobile devices, including foldable phones, next month. According to industry sources on Monday, industry watchers say that Samsung will be holding a Galaxy Unpacked event at 11 p.m. on August 11th, Korea time, which will be live streamed from Seoul. Well, something to look forward to for those geeks who like to see things unfold. That's another thing I could never really understand when you think about it. All these videos, all these YouTubers making the opening videos, man, people love seeing new crap being opened up on TV. Who cares? Samsung, however, hasn't yet sent out an official invitation to its partners and media worldwide regarding the schedule. Oh, my back's killing me. I gotta get a better chair, man, for this. Samsung said it is not yet fixed. The upcoming show will be the first that will pivot to the Korean tech giant's foldable smartphone lineup, bidding adieu to the Fable-type Galaxy Note series with the S Pen stylus that had been the highlight of the August show for the last 10 years. No more S Galaxy stylus pen thingy-majiggy. Early this year, Samsung officially announced it will not launch the new Galaxy Note model this year. Oh no. A major change in the company's smartphone portfolio. Instead, Samsung rolled out the Galaxy S21 series in February and added the Note's signature S Pen to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. That's what I'm aiming for. My next model, whenever that expires. Whatever. The August Unpacked show, Samsung is expected to introduce one Galaxy Z Fold 3 model and 2 Galaxy Z Flip 3 models. No idea what they are. That's a massive thingy. For photography, it is likely to sport a total of 5 cameras, including a triple camera module of 3 12 megapixel shooters and 16 megapixel under display selfie camera and a 10 megapixel shooter on the cover display. Holy cow, man. I wonder what the price tag is going to be for that one. What is it? According to Counterpoint Research, the total shipment of foldable smartphones stood at 2.5 million. Oh, okay. 2.8 million. But no price tag? No price tag as of yet. Okay, no price tag. No price tag. You know what? It's quiet in here. There's nobody in the chat section again. We need some tunes. There you go. Bring on the tunes, man. Right. Uslan online. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you're watching after the streaming of the podcast, then make sure to stick around, come back for more videos. I've been recording some, but I don't have the drive that I used to actually upload the vlogs that I used to do, man. I've got some good stuff. I'm hoping that after August there may be some more stuff coming. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of work, man. YouTube is a lot of work. Creating, editing, and all that stuff. It takes up a lot of time. And right now, personally, I've been a bit more concerned with what's happening with Chainflix, peeps, because while YouTube is a hard game to play, Chainflix.net has been a lot more rewarding. If you haven't taken the time to check out Chainflix just yet, then I recommend that you do. It's a platform some say might not succeed, but it's a Korean platform. It's like YouTube. It functions very similarly. It's very smooth and it's running. It's very easy to log in. Basically, go to the website chainflix.com, get started, continue with your account. You can sign in with your Google account. Same way you would sign in into any Google services, and you get this beautiful view. And where are we here? My channel has got 654 subscribers. All the videos are here. There is a reward system that kicks in at when you produce and upload and consume, and then when you provide storage space. Those three ways are the three ways in which you can be rewarded for using Chainflix, which is a lot better than YouTube, because basically as soon as you start doing any one of these three things, that's when the reward starts kicking in, and you don't have to wait years and years for YouTube to recognize your existence even, and if you're a consumer, then you just don't get squat at all. Chainflix is still in what is it, beta mode for now, but it's going to be switching. Chainflix is actually switching. It's an ERC20 token, based on the ERC20 token, or on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's switching over to Clayton, which is locally produced blockchain by the Kakao group, which kind of makes sense because Chainflix is a Korean what you may call it, a Korean program, not program, what is it? Jeez Louise. Project, that's the word. Korean project. So it makes sense for it to be running on the Clayton, a Korean Clayton blockchain. Sure, why not? Support one another. Alrighty, and with that, since we started talking about that, let's move over to our crypto reports. We have, what do we got here? Sunday surprisingly did not see the regular dump that we usually see every Sunday. CoinMarketCap reports everything was see the past 7 days everything was in red and green. Yesterday, Sunday, and Monday were very nice green days. Today everything's in red again. Of course, Ethereum managed to get up over, I think, I don't know. I want to say 2,300, but it may have been a little bit higher than that actually. Let's see. May, June, July. No, 23. Yeah, July 4th, 23. Went up to 23, 21. Eli, man, always tries to out top me on the guesstimates. Anyway, yeah. So that's Ethereum. Bitcoin is at 20. What is it? 30. Oh, where did you go? Bitcoin at $33,000 right now. Ethereum 22,000. Binance 294. Cardano is at 139, holding strong. XRP. There's a video put out by BitBoy, which I haven't watched yet, but I was told, recommended to watch it, which I am going to. It predicts that XRP should be exploding within the next little while. I guess the prediction is, or hopium, that they're gonna win the lawsuit against the SEC, and you know, after that it's just gonna be history. So XRP hasn't hit the all-time high yet since 2017, at which time it reached something like $2.3, I think. Let's see here. BBTDT. What was it? Oh, $3. Okay, was it $3? $3.10 at its all-time high, I think. Yeah, $3.30, $3.37. That was the all-time high. This year we saw it peak at 1.8. I thought it was above 2. 1.8. Okay, at 1.8. So still a far cry from the $3.30 that we saw in late 2017. But if things go as expected, then you should see XRP boom and bust, so it might be a good time to look into purchasing some XRP. Polkadot at 15, Dogecoin is at 23 cents, and Elon Musk continues to tweet its insane tweets. He's kind of become a meme himself, I think, by now. Poor guy. Polygon Matic also doing very well. PanterSwap is actually moving on to Polygon. Actually, PanterSwap, if you're not familiar with PanterSwap just yet, dumped massively. But PanterSwap team, the devs are working on developing the project. They're moving a lot of it. Expanding to Ethereum. They're expanding to. Oh, what was it? Just a second, I had it. They're expanding to included to Polygon. Polygon, it's at 8 cents right now, which is a huge move away from the all-time high that it was at, what was it, like $5 or something like that. What is this? What are we looking at here? Oh, yes, so that's not all. What the heck is wrong with this chart? Let's see here. That's a weird little chart. One day that can be all the data. Oh, I guess this is data since it got listed on CoinMarketCap. Before that, I guess we'd have to go to PooCoin app. Man, it's pouring outside. What a day for sleepage. Let's see here. How high did it go on a day? Yeah, on a day. Let's see the day. Check it out. It went from like, holy, $3.5 and basically just was in a massive decline since its inception. So not very different from anything else that we've seen with this is Hagwon, just regular candles. Yeah, 3.5 and boing, a nice dead cat bounce over here, and then just a decline all the way to like 7 cents ever since. But that's okay. The PanterSwap team is working hard on improving it, and we all have faith that they will do well. Yeah. Alrighty. Binance, in the meantime, is taking a beating. Man, Binance is getting bombarded. My theory is that the powers that be are trying to deregulate Binance, because Binance is, or has been until recently, the biggest exchange in the world, and which basically allowed for a lot of movement of the crypto finances, and which were being unregulated. And now, since the whole movement of regulatory
necessity has come into forefront. Every government is scrambling, I think, to get a hold of the cryptocurrencies and the cryptocurrency space. And so they're trying to get rid of Binance, basically, in order to allow local exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges, to get a stronger hold of the cryptocurrency space, which will allow the local governments and banks to regulate and oversee the exchanges and the crypto investors. Basically, that's the feeling I get. Korea may join with Japan, UK to regulate Binance. This is an article that was published. When the heck was that? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Just today, I think. Must have been. Binance required to register its business to FSC before September 24th. Just like the other exchanges here in South Korea, the 4 big ones and every other ones. The 4 big ones are safe, I guess, but every other exchange that is in Korea in existence, if they do not report with the required regulations with the FSC before September 24th, then it's game over for those puppies. After the country's top financial regulators confirmed plans to strengthen regulations on cryptocurrencies to rein in the ongoing crypto craze, Binance, the world's largest coin exchange in terms of trading volume, is facing mounting obstacles here. And I guess maybe another reason is that they want people to move, because this is creating a lot of FUD, and I think a lot of people are panicking, and there's probably a lot of people moving their cash out of Binance, either, you know, because of the FUD or because they're being forced, because Binance is being banned from this place, from that place, from the here and there and there, so people can no longer trade on Binance, and they have to move their cash. I mean, just move it to Binance.com, I guess. It'll be all right. Like mine you do. Oh yeah. Right. So the authorities are set to ban. So I think they're trying to just deregulate Binance. Take a nice chunk of its trading volume away from Binance and move it to the local exchanges. Because if you've got Korea introducing a 20% tax, gains tax on cryptocurrencies, then obviously you want as much crypto being traded on these exchanges in order to embellish, or in order to increase the amount and the revenue and the taxes. Just makes sense. So the people who are trading right now on Binance, all the Koreans who may be trading or you know, doing arbitrage between Binance and Corbit and Upbit and Bitum, will no longer be able to do so, and will have to move all of their crypto to Korea in order to cash it out, unless they've got some other means to do it. But essentially that'll increase the overall volume, trading volume of the local cryptocurrency exchanges, and increase the tax for the government, right? The authorities are set to ban overseas-based cryptocurrency exchanges operations in the country unless they register their businesses with the government by September 24th, which is a very short time, particularly since the banks are very hesitant about, you know, about getting into business with smaller exchanges, which is the reason why I talked about it in the last podcast. The smaller exchanges are thinking or are maybe pursuing legal action against the government for that particular reason. According to a revision of the Act on Reporting and Using Specific Financial Transaction Information, local cryptocurrency exchanges must register their business by that date in order to obtain a government license. The Financial Services Commission, in charge of supervising and overseeing the cryptocurrency sector, is planning to impose the same rule for overseas coin exchanges, including Binance. In order to register their businesses, the exchanges are required to be certified by the Information Security Management System and to make sure the existing customers have real name back accounts for cryptocurrency transactions. Plus, their chief executives and board members must have no criminal record. The revision also stipulates that exchanges must clarify
that they have the proper levels of deposit insurance to cover any potential losses due to cyber attacks. That's a good thing. I mean, sure, I'm all for that, right? You don't want stuff happening like shoot, I lost some dough on Nano, I think, and I forget the cryptocurrency exchange, but there was a massive hack, and bunch of Nano was hacked, and everything went up, belly up. If overseas exchanges fail to fulfill this set of criteria by September 24, they will be banned from doing business in Korea from September 25th. So that's the deadline. If Binance doesn't comply, then Binance is not allowed to be in South Korea. I think Binance shut down in Korea. There's no binance.kr.co.kr anymore. There's only binance.com. So I don't know how binance.com will be affected by these changes. No idea. South Korean crypto exchanges tighten personal trading rules for employees. 3 of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in South Korea have tightened restrictions on virtual currency trading by their employees in a move designed to comply with the nation's crypto regulations. Basically, to summarize it, cryptocurrency exchanges in Korea are no longer, or the people working at the cryptocurrency exchanges in Korea are no longer allowed to trade on those particular cryptocurrency exchanges. I mean, they can trade on other exchanges, and I don't know about their family members, their aunts and uncles trading on that particular exchange. I guess nothing's stopping people from creating accounts for their family members and then running them themselves, right? But I guess that could be construed as illegal and still be seen as such, and maybe fraudulent. So that could actually make it worse. In any case, that's the thingy. Fast facts. Bitam announced that starting this month, it had banned its employees from trading cryptocurrencies using Bitam accounts. The exchange has made employees sign a contract agreeing to the ban and required that they close their existing Bitam user accounts. Corbett has applied the same measures to its employees starting this month. Upbit already limits its employees to trading in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether on its own platform. There you go. What? Tether, Upbit. Yeah, I always knew. Upbit has Tether. I had a discussion with somebody who said there is no Tether in Korea, but there is. Upbit has Tether on its own platform. When trading on other exchanges, Upbit employees must obtain prior approval and report their returns on a regular basis. Ooh, interesting. So that's already counts towards the whole tax thingamajig, yeah? Just to keep an eye on who's doing what and where and how much. Korea's Financial Services Commission announced earlier this year that it will forbid exchange owners and executives from trading on their own platforms in an effort to improve transparency and prevent price manipulation. The FSC's ban will be applied to all exchange employees after September 24th compliance deadline related to the country's crypto exchange. Some good stuff, some not so good stuff, but I mean overall this is good. This I think is good, particularly for the last bit of prevent price manipulation. That's something that really needs to go, man, because I know myself and every other hodler out there, every little miniature crypto hustler is sick and tired of whales manipulating prices and jokers like freaking Elon Musk tweeting this and tweeting that and all the sheep following him and, you know, FOMOing in or YOLOing in or out of the exchange and just causing havoc, man. Crypto Michelin guide to rate tokens in South Korea. I have no idea. Who the heck is Michelin guide? No idea. The Korea Institute of Virtual Asset Valuation, launched last month, is set to release its first report in July 15th, evaluating 10 domestic cryptocurrencies. Domestic cryptocurrencies, okay. The new non-profit organization is aiming to provide information to help protect investors from buying crypto coins based on misleading disclosures. Fast facts. At the end of every month, 10 domestic cryptocurrencies will be evaluated on a 10-point scale that scores the token and its issuer's problem-solving strategies, promotional strategy, business management technology, practicality, and potential. That's interesting. Michelin guide. Okay, keep that in mind. Let's see. Can we
Korean Institute of Virtual Asset. Kivav. All right, Kivav. Together with the youth, the protagonists of the future, we create fair value for virtual assets. Fantastic. Alrighty, we'll keep that on the burner, man. We'll read about that a little bit later. Around 60 professors have volunteered to participate in the project, and each must sign a security agreement stipulating that any member who has a conflict of interest will bear civil and criminal liability. Interesting. Currently, public data disclosures platform Jungle is the country's sole provider of crypto ratings. Really? Did you know? I didn't know. Okay, but where is it? The center alleged June 19th, announced the block at Twitter, said, ew, that's another one that we'd have to read. I didn't get to that one. All right. However, the reliability of Jungle's ratings has been called into question following the leak of a contract suggesting that it may have acted as a de facto broker between altcoin issuers and crypto exchanges. Oh, for the love of Korea, will you ever stop? Park Ji-kyung, a founder of Kivav, told Fast Forecast News, this place here, ratings of cryptocurrencies are heavily influenced by the token issuers. In other words, they rate as much as they are getting paid from the company. So basically, they're a YouTuber who's promoting shitcoins because they were paid by the developers to promote their shitcoins. Great, fantastic. Okay, well then, Kiva, let's hope you do a better job. We'll keep an eye on you. We'll keep an eye on you, Kiva. If you mess up, we'll be back. We'll be back here, man. I'm gonna save your ass to. I got a place. We'll add it to bookmarks, and these bookmarks will be the crypto bookmarks. Oh yeah, done. You're in. South Korea's crypto exchange fee revelations deal blow to sector's credibility. Payment for listing raises questions over integrity of cryptocurrencies credit scores as compliance deadline nears. Yeah. Yep. South Korea, Bitam, Upbit, other exchanges join hands to respond to travel rule. It's not what it sounds, I think. I think the travel rule suggests or has got something to do with cryptocurrency travel, not like personal travel, not people traveling, but cryptos traveling. I see there's like 8 people watching possibly. So if you're new here, if you have any questions, smash up the likes, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and also say hello in the comment section, because that's always nice, man. So I don't feel like I'm a super duper loner here. I'm all alone. 4 of South Korea's most prominent cryptocurrency exchanges are in the news. What the heck are they in the news for? Today, after they announced the signing off on Mo to establish a joint venture to respond to the travel rule of crypto assets. The 4 exchanges include Bitam, Upbit, Coinon, and Corbit. Those are the 4 ones that were able to pass the requirements by the Gov. So by September 24th, these 4 are golden. Anything else that doesn't comply with the requests, with the regulations, is off the table, will be gone. Also, the top exchanges by volume in the country. As per the updated norms of South Korea, the travel rule requires the virtual currency operator in charge of sending crypto to provide information about the sender and receiver information to the operator who receives the virtual currency when transferring the same. So basically, if you're sending, well, I don't know how that would work. I guess in this case, Binance, if Binance is sending stuff to Corbit, if you're sending from Binance to Corbit, then Binance would be required to report who was sending it to Corbit and to whom. But I don't know if that would apply to Binance as well, or just to the 4. So if you're doing some arbitrage, if you're trying to do arbitrage between any of these 4,
then you would have to, ooh, man, I have it set pretty high there. Okay, any of these four, then you would have to, then all of that would be reported, basically, where it's coming from and where it's going to. All of it would be reported. Yeah. So bam bammer, man. That's a lot of tightening of regulations. Metaverse funds are the hot new investment trend in South Korea, with the country's biggest asset management firms now scrambling to get in on the game. KB Asset Management leaping in first, launching their fund into this collective virtual shared world earlier this month. Samsung Asset Management followed just this week, and Mira Asset Management could be next, as it is considering an ETF. Metaverse funds. There you go. Virtual worlds, man. That's where it's happening. Decentraland, I think. The value of Decentraland went up. I don't know. Right now, everything is in the gutter. But virtual worlds, man. I do expect a large amount of capital flow into the metaverse, but since retail investors find it difficult to make investment decisions in the metaverse, asset managers are creating funds run by experts to help investors make the choices. The metaverse is where the virtual world meets the real world, with big names including Roblox and neighbor Zepeto. Both are included with the first two funds to launch, as are Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft. Who all sell or are developing augmented reality devices. Global consulting firm PwC is predicting that the virtual and augmented reality economy, which the metaverse economy is based on, will grow from $46.4 billion in 2019 to $1.5 trillion US dollars by 2030. Man, we're looking at, if you've never seen Ready Player One, that's kind of what this is, man. That's the direction we're heading in. Virtual reality world, man. But if you ever had any doubts about the big companies getting in on the game, they're not getting in on the game, on the cryptocurrency game, by buying Bitcoin. That's too easy. That's small peanuts, man. They're making sure that the people who use cryptocurrencies are provided with tools that they can use, for which they will have to pay in cryptocurrencies. So in other words, they do what's always been done. They don't try to buy the currency, they try to provide services which will be purchased with the currency, and thus they will acquire that currency. But yeah, Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft will be getting in on the blockchain, on the cryptocurrency game, just not in the way that we expected them to. Not the way that everybody expects them to, like, Microsoft. Not Microsoft, MicroStrategy, or Elon Musk's Tesla. I bought 50 billion. I bought 50,000 Bitcoin, and therefore Bitcoin price surges. Good article, man. This is interesting. Alrighty. Who's in the chat? Nobody. Nobody wants to talk to me today. Thad. Well, I'm out. That's it. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and I am beat, man. There's a lot of stuff that I should have done, I haven't done, and I will not do today. A bunch of stuff that will have to wait until tomorrow. So, yeah, if you just tuned in to the end of the podcast, then make sure to hit this one. And subscribe to the channel, and scroll back and rewatch it once it's available. I don't know how long it takes. I think it takes a little while for YouTube to replay. Also, make sure to check out Chainflix. If you go to Chainflix, you have to register like you would have to register for a regular Google account. So make sure when you do, make sure to mention Living Korea as a reference, and then we'll all be happy. Support the channel in that way, and help yourself to some free cryptocurrency. Chainflix right now is in beta. This is my stash. Oh yeah. This is going to be converted to whatever. They're going to switch all that up. But Chainflix will be going live, I think, sometime in August, if I'm not mistaken. That's the last message I read somewhere. Oh, what was I showing? Here we go. Here is Chainflix. go home. Information. Chainflix mainnet conversion notice. Oh yeah, so Chainflix mainnet will be switched from Ethereum-based ERC20 to Clayton-based KCT. With the transition to Clayton mainnet, the CFX token used with the platform blah blah blah. By switching to mainnet to Clayton's, which is operated by Kakao affiliates, not only lower fees and high speed can be provided, but all the other good stuff. So yeah, and as I said, this just came out today. Today's the 5th, yeah. As I said, you know, check it out. Check it out. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, good. That's it. It's been an hour again. Man, these podcasts, I was planning on having them like 30 minutes tops, but they drag out because there's so much stuff to do, and there's so much engagement from the audience, man. How can I stop? Anyway, thank you all for still stopping by. If you're new here, make sure to smash up the likes. If this is your first time. If you're a long time viewer, then still also smash up the likes. Thanks for supporting the channel, and make sure to spread the love, share the video with others. There's definitely some interesting info in here, so do share. And I hope you have a fantastic remainder of the very rainy evening today on the Monday, on the 5th of July. And I will see you in the next episode of the Korea podcast, which is going to be the 122nd next week on Monday the 12th. Have a good evening, have a good night, and bye-bye.